The Mountain Mayhem update is bringing forward many different types of changes to rideable mobs, including many different types of changes to combat, and today I'm going to be using my objective opinionated facts to ranking every single one of the features inside the update from the absolute best to the absolute worst, starting off with, of course, the Nautilus itself. Which I think overall is actually a fairly decent mob. You could find it in any different type of oceanic biome. You could ride it in any different type of, oceanic environment. It could help you breathe underwater. It could help you do many different types of things underneath the ocean, which is very, very helpful. Like, I think we have been in desperate need of something like this for quite a long time, doing something related to the oceans. I just think maybe there could have been like a little bit more that could have been done with this. Maybe make like a Nautilus shell block or something like that. I don't know, some nonsense thing that I'm just making up on the top of my head. But yeah, for what it is, for the Nautilus itself, it's actually a pretty handy and a pretty noteworthy mob. A brand new one, a brand new rideable one we could actually ride around inside the world. And I guess for the most part, it's actually kind of the highlight of this one update. And I think generally it's a pretty good addition. The zombie Nautilus, on the other hand, is fine. I kind of get why it was added to, distinguish itself from the normal Nautilus, and I do like the fact that you can still tame it, and how it could just still attack you, even though it's, like, tamed or something like that, but apart from that, it doesn't really, distinguish itself from the normal Nautilus in any, major way, other than the design and the fact that it can attack you, but I do like the design, I do like the concept. I just think that, again, comparing, this Nautilus to, the actual alive Nautilus, this one is, I don't know, it feels like it's lacking something. It feels like there could have been way more to be done with this one than the normal one. But I guess, as is, it's a neat concept. It could have been done better, but I still think, generally, it's a welcome thing. I'm just probably not going to be, too going out of my way and looking for anything like that. But regardless, I am glad there are additions and caveats you could actually have on top of our normal Nautilus, including the Nautilus armor. I mean, because it's kind of like a normal, underwater horse mob, it does kind of make sense the fact that we are getting armor for them too, which means you really have no reason to worry about the health and well-being of your Nautilus, especially when you're going into combat, or in the case you're battling, say, a drowned or something like that who throws a trident, or something that could put the Nautilus in harm. It should be 100% protected. Well, not 100% protected, but it should be way more protected than if it had no armor whatsoever. Apart from being out of water, it should really have no issue in surviving many different types of things. I'm sorry, zombie Nautilus, I'm just gonna have to do that to you, but yeah, generally, the Nautilus armor, I like it. I think it's going up there, pretty high up on the ranking. Now I'm sure you might be asking, wait, why do I have the zombie horse on the list, in the case you weren't following with the update? Well, now as of this one update, zombie horses can now actually 100% spawn in the overworld. It's rare, but it is 100% possible. I am very sorry, Betty. I didn't mean to do this to you. But yeah, on a rare occasion, you can actually find zombie horses generating inside of the world, which is 100% absolutely fantastic. We've been waiting for some way, shape, or form to get our hands on zombie horses, and yes, there's nothing different about them or anything like that, compared to normal horses, but the fact that we can get these originally locked behind creative mode features finally in survival is fantastic, and I'll probably just group together the horse changes as a whole right here, because now also inside this one update, horses can now swim. That's also that's just fantastic. We've wanted something like this for so long. We've wanted some way to just, go over the fact that we can't fit these guys in boats anymore. And now we kind of, in some way or another, actually do have it. So generally, everything related to the horse coming inside this one update is 100% fantastic. I absolutely love all the horse changes coming inside this one update, and that's not where all the changes and additions end inside this one update, because we are also getting something that just literally makes way too much sense, because For the longest time, we have had a good chunk of horse armors inside the game, and with the addition of the copper one, I guess they figured it's time they finally add in the netherite horse armor, which is 100% fantastic, because now instead of you just having to rely on like diamond horse armor or something like that to protect your horse, you can go a tier above that. And just to give some perspective and some context and things like that, the diamond horse armor that we already had can only protect you for 11 different health points. This one can go all the way up to 19. Yes, 19 health points. Now, you are going to have to sacrifice a netherite ingot to get yourself one of these bad boys, but I think it might be worth it. If you are a horse enthusiast and you want to really just have the absolute peak upon peak of horses, now there is a new way of doing that. And I think also I need to put this pretty high up on the list, because it makes too much sense, all things considered. And something else that also makes way too much sense, all things considered, is the camel husk and the parch. Two different types of mobs, which now actually spawn inside of desert biomes. You are going to find them like kind of rare every now and then inside them during the nighttime, but yeah, when they do spawn, they typically spawn together, but they can spawn separately. The camel husk has to spawn in with a parched every single time it spawns in, which is, I guess, a bit of a hindrance sometimes, because you're going to have to battle things out, and you're going to have to potentially battle out a husk and things like that. But generally, this mob's fine. Like, there's really nothing to distinguish it from the normal camel, except for the fact that its design is different and it drops rotten flesh. So, if you want it, you could get it. If you don't want it, then you could just leave it as is. The parched, I guess, is a cool idea. I mean, we did have the husk for the longest time, the zombie version of a desert zombie, but now we're getting the skeleton desert mob now, I guess, which is a cool addition. I do like the fact that it is dropping like new types of arrows you couldn't normally get with weakness. I just think it's just these two mobs. They're another retextured variant. I like them. I like that we're finding more retextured variants. But I still can't really say it brings its distinguishing abilities out beyond the already existing skeletons and the already existing camels. But something that 100% does is the spear. The spear, a brand new type of weapon you can use inside the game that really brings itself apart from other different types of weapons, because instead of you just like swinging or something like that to cause damage, you can jab, or you can charge things. What does that actually mean? Well, in the case you want to jab things, you just have to, swing like normally, like any other type of a weapon. What's really different, especially for Bedrock players, is if we look at it when I swing it, there's actually a cooldown. This is the first ever weapon we're seeing inside of Bedrock Edition to actually have some form of cooldown. Is it exactly like Java Editions? No, far from it. But it's still some amount of cooldown. It is still something that you have to be wary of, so you can't just like spam it over and over and over again, back to back to back. This weapon is incredibly heavy, meaning it just takes a little bit of time to charge up, which, again, I would have liked to see the full Java combat in Bedrock Edition, but as is, I do still think this is a pretty cool thing that we're seeing inside the game. Something else that's pretty cool that we're seeing inside the game is the charge attack. You hold down the right click, and if you run straight forward into a mob, it will continually, over and over again, attack that mob, as we saw right there. This is a really cool idea, and actually attacking mobs, and attacking multiple mobs, as we can see right there. Like, if you want to attack multiple different mobs at once, you can 100% do that over and over and over again. The one downside is the fact that it also kind of has a cooldown, because the longer we hold it out, the harder it is to hold it out for the charge attack, because again, this thing is an incredibly heavy weapon. But I still do think the charge attack and the jab attack are really fun and really interesting types of, I guess, combat design things. Is it gonna replace other different types of weapons fully? I doubt it. I can't really see myself using this over a sword, but is it going to be another type of combat you can use? 100%. Do you want to use it for mini games? Do you want to use it for, I don't know, something else? Absolutely. And I think I'd want to put it right between A and S. I can't do that, so I'm just going to have to put it like on the upper end of A. But yeah, generally it is fantastic. And something else that's fantastic about it the one exclusive enchantment to the spear, Lunge, because now instead of you having to, I guess, just rely on, I guess, charging or jabbing, you could also lunge yourself forward, which I guess is a kind of similar to what you could do with, like, say, I don't know, a trident or something like that inside the water. The only difference is, while you can, like, lunge yourself anywhere in water, going up, down, left, right, backwards, or forwards, or whatever, lunging can only go forward, as we can see, because I could do it forward over and over and over again, though I do have to rely on the cooldown and things like that. But another thing, I cannot lunge myself forward. I cannot do it. I could do it forward like this, but I cannot go straight up or anything like that. And the only reason lunge is here is to help attack different types of mobs in more different types of ways when you actually charge and things like that. The one huge downside to it is the fact that when you actually do lunge yourself forward, it will actually deplete your hunger bar, and depending on the level of lunge will actually determine how much hunger you actually lose. And as we can see right here, I'm losing so much hunger so quickly, and by the time we are under 3 hunger shanks, we can't do it anymore. So yeah, you're gonna have to be incredibly picky when you actually lunge, or you're gonna have to have a whole bunch of golden carrots or something like that. I think it's a cool idea. I think there's a lot of good you can do with the lunge enchantment. I just don't know if you can lunge enough. Like, I would have preferred you doing like maybe 16 or 20 lunges with lunge 3 or something like that, as opposed to like 12, but I think we did need some form of, I guess, a cooldown. It does make sense, but I still think it's just a little bit too much. But I still think, despite that, it's still a very welcome addition. And I think, generally, all these features are actually pretty welcome. And while every single feature is, like, really well done and things like that, there honestly isn't that much. Like, there's way more than, say, like, the Chase the Skies update or something like that. I just think maybe there could have been like a couple other things we could have done to flesh out some of these features in some way, shape, or fashion. But even with that, even with what we have, this update, Mounts of Mayhem, is actually a pretty solid one. And I would personally give it probably a 7.1 out of 10 would lunge again.